Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in. I'm Amanda Ziadeh with WashingtonExec, and joining me today to talk about his new role and priorities going forward is Will Grannis, CEO of Google Public Sector. Thank you so much for joining me today, Will.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Of course. So first off, congratulations on your recent appointment to CEO of Google Public Sector. Very exciting.
Yes, I think it is too. It's a big time for us here, forming up the subsidiary, specifically focused on helping U.S. federal, state, and local and educational institutions accelerate their digital transformations. I can't think of a more important mission.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. And I understand, having previously led Google Cloud's Office of the CTO, I'd like to start by asking if you can share a bit about your new role and responsibilities and what you oversee exactly.
So my personal priority is to make sure that that full breadth of Google technology and engineering know-how is readily available to all of our U.S. government customers in service of their missions. I also have the distinct honor and privilege of leading a team of Googlers dedicated to serving public sector customers. Many of us, myself included, have deep roots in the missions of government, and this new organization is a vehicle for all of us to increase our impact and collaboration opportunities with government innovators. But we already work with a number of forward-thinking and acting government agencies. For example, we've worked with the U.S. Air Force to accelerate collaboration and research, assist with aircraft maintenance, and even transform pilot training. For example, our cloud platform sits underneath this immersive training devices that the U.S. Air Force enabled their pilots to interact with, and took the cost of training a pilot down from millions of dollars to tens of thousands of dollars. So now enabling many more pilots to get trained. We also partnered with the U.S. Navy to use AI and ML tools to reduce corrosion on ships. And we've even supported the Defense Innovation Unit in its implementation of our secure cloud management solution. And this is a scalable, highly responsive architecture for managing government network security. At the state and local level, we partnered with the state of Wisconsin and state of Rhode Island to launch brand new virtual career centers built on our cloud platform. And this will help all job seekers find and have access to opportunities in a digital format. We've also helped the state of New York launch a streamlined unemployment application, and New York City Cyber Command more quickly detect, prevent, and respond to cyber threats through high performance cloud services. So you can tell from both the federal level as well as to the state and local level, we're already partnering with a lot of government agencies, and this new public sector subsidiary is going to allow us to take that heritage, add more resource focus, and really accelerate our ability to serve the missions of government customers.
Wonderful. Yeah, those sound like amazing projects. Thank you for sharing a bit of examples with us. I'm curious, I know we're already over halfway into this year, but what are your top priorities for the remainder of the year and as you look ahead to 2023, and what market trends are perhaps top of mind?
Sure. So our priorities start with and end with our customer priorities. So first off, as you know, government customers are looking to secure and transform their IT infrastructure and leverage the best tech to help them with innovation, productivity, save on cost, security, and more. So for example, one of the priorities that U.S. federal agencies have is making sure that they can deliver more effective government user experiences on cloud infrastructure that is both secure and scalable. Because unfortunately, the experience today is that many of these agencies are running on expensive to scale and feature lagging cloud infrastructure. And you see things like the pandemic and external forces. It really exacerbates that divide between the experience they want to have and the experience that they actually see every single day. Our top priorities for the rest of this year is making sure that, as these transformations continue, that we're poised and ready to serve these federal agencies with more responsive, secure, and reliable cloud infrastructure than maybe what they experience on a day-to-day basis. There's a second big priority, and anyone who is awash in data, like our federal, state, local, and educational customers are, they know that it's really difficult with siloed systems to make best use of information and data that they have and really gain insights from massive data sets. So second big priority is making sure that we leverage the technology coming out of our cloud organization to make sure that federal agencies, state and local governments, and educational institutions, that they can get real value out of their data and advance their missions. So we can help them take large piles of data and allow agencies to drive insights at scale. We leverage the largest private software-defined network in the world, We take experience from having 10 platforms with over 1 billion users, and we take these insights and these capabilities, and now we're bringing them into kind of highly differentiated experiences for the federal government. So number one, making sure that there's infrastructure and platform for our customers that's both scalable, reliable, and secure. And then also making sure that as these agencies progress through their transformation and they get to the place where they want to get more value out of their data, that they've got the industry leading smart analytics, AI, and machine learning platforms that we've developed here at Google.
Cool. Yeah, and expanding on that, we all know Google is a household name, and it's clear that the impact the company makes on technology, society, and beyond. So expanding on what you were talking about a bit, can you explain the value that your business unit will bring to the public sector and perhaps some of the challenges that they'll help federal agencies solve? Anything else you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we launched Google Public Sector, it was to provide the singular focus and resources necessary to help our public sector customers in federal, state, and local education achieve their missions. Mm-hmm. And while focus may seem obvious, sometimes it's really hard to achieve. And it starts with taking what we do really well and pairing that to the largest needs of our customers. An example of this, Google has a long heritage of working in open source and in open communities. Two of the most successful technologies that today are used by infrastructure professionals to orchestrate container-based applications is called Kubernetes. And then the most popular machine learning framework in the world called TensorFlow. Both of these were developed at Google, but given to the world through open source and open communities. Launching Google Public Sector allows us to take this heritage and really focus it in on public sector. And a recent example that I'm really proud of is we took one of, and this is very timely with the CHIPS Act. We recently partnered with an organization called Skywater to help design custom chips as our nation faces a chip shortage. But this was a public-private partnership with the Department of Defense and Skywater that enables accessible, collaborative chip design driven by an open source ecosystem. Mm-hmm. So, Google and Google Public Sector provides the compute, engineering know-how, and platform that accelerates chip design. Skywater provided the next-gen chip design system and fab in a secure commercial environment. And the DoD investment makes us all scalable and accessible. So taking this legacy of open source from Google, focusing it through Google Public Sector towards a use case, in this case, open chip design, so US secure-based chip design, and then making sure that that can thrive in an open and environment and ecosystem that's available to all. So now software engineers who have no idea what they're doing with chip design now have more ready access to being able to participate in that market, and might bring in players who before maybe some of the barriers were access to resources, access to compute, or even just working as part of a community that understands the problem set. So really exciting time pulling that heritage of open and focusing it through Google Public Sector.
Yeah, it's clear to see the impact that something like that could make down the line. So very cool. Thank you for sharing. Mm-hmm. Well, lastly, ultimately, I'm interested in what you hope to accomplish, long-term in this role. What do you hope others take from your leadership as well?
In all the conversations I have with our government customers, and actually as an Army veteran myself and having spent a couple decades in the public sector building technology teams and businesses, one consistent theme over that unfortunately very long period of time is that all of our government customers, they want more diversity in the supply base and in the cloud vendors that serve them. And so with Google Public Sector, what I'm hoping to accomplish is to help bring another technology innovator to our customers and to our Google Public Sector customers who can help them potentially move away from legacy providers and advance those missions that require security, that will help them attract and retain a workforce. The tools that people use at work are a really big factor in how to attract and maintain a workforce. People want to use digital, modern tools, not yesterday's tools. And then also help save on costs, because in many ways, this digital transformation will have a positive cost impact for our government customers that will allow them to then reinvest into the research and development and differentiation that enables our national security and enables a great constituency service and experience for all of us as citizens of the United States. So really want to make sure that those that serve us are served well by Google Public Sector.